Right, fast forwarding until we get to the boss. At the very least, it seems like I figured that turtle out just a tad too late to beat him on the first go. So this one should go more in our favor. I'm not really sure how this guy rates compared to the bosses we faced in Zero Mission, or if it's even right to compare the bosses from Zero Mission with the ones in this game. Especially since I'm not really counting the Metroids as bosses here, despite the fact that facing down each one is supposed to be a bit of an event in this game. All I know is that I'm already looking forward to seeing the differences once we go to the 3DS version of Metroid 2. Who knows? Me figuring out the gimmick for this fight in the fan remake might make a similar fight in the Nintendo remake a lot easier to deal with. Assuming, of course, that the rollout guy even shows up in the 3DS game. Not the smoothest way to get him to hit the second section of the electric wall, but at least it happened fast. I'm pretty sure there are plenty of people who could pull that off without being damaged at all. Still, that was damn satisfying. And I can't help chuckling at the fact that the completely random bosses from nowhere are more satisfying to kill than the Metroid so far, when this game is the most absolutely focused on Metroids, and when the entire series title is Metroid. Seriously, this is one of the rare games that doesn't have any space pirates at all, which means this is one of the very rare games where Ridley is not going to be showing up. Not that I have something against Ridley or recurring villains. It's just that the only two Metroid games I can think of off the top of my head that don't have him are Metroid 2 and Metroid Prime 2. Absolutely every other game feels the need to throw him in because he's become almost as iconic as Samus in her suit. Yet, with all the Metroid games I can think of, the only two he doesn't appear in are the second installments of their particular sub-series. Does he just have something against the number 2 specifically or something? Well, this one somehow feels a bit more aggressive than the ones we've run into before now, though maybe I'm just, losing my mind a little. Anyway, another one down, and I'm feeling really sorry for the damn things, since there's so little they can do against us in that form. All they can do is just ram into us and hope we don't get any shots at their vulnerable underbellies. Just how long until we start running into the next form of Metroid anyway? I know, we're only 1 hour into the game and we've got several more to go, but still. For some reason I was expecting the water cannon to send us through the ceiling and into the room with the save point. Not really sure why, anyway. Time to explore this floor. I've got to say, this type of hopping enemy is certainly going to be a pain in the ass to deal with. Oh god, that took way too much health off us considering it's a respawning enemy. Again, I was under the impression that the Metroids were the apex predator on this planet. Sure, they're probably gonna get a lot more powerful by the time we deal with the final one, but still. that's some awkward positioning for those turrets. We've definitely reached the part of the game where they do a better job of wearing me down. So it's either I start improving as we keep pushing forward, or I really start having a bad time from here on out. And I've got to say, I really appreciate the fact that it's more than just the bosses that feel dangerous to us in this game. Especially since the Metroids themselves so far have been oddly forgettable so far, despite the fact that dealing with them is supposed to be the main event of this game. Right. Too much to hope that every enemy we kill gives us either missiles or health. Okay, are we supposed to get that missile upgrade from below? Because from above clearly isn't working. Ah, well, let's see about getting the other missile upgrade in this room. And just when should we be expecting the next energy tank? I know, we're still pretty early in the game, still. We've been moving at a pretty good pace so far. Guess that upgrade's just gonna keep laying down there for now. Is there a difference between the tan statue heads and the green ones? Because they feel just as easy to kill to me. Oh dear. Right. Too much to hope that it wouldn't be able to jump that high up. Again, we took far too much damage considering that's a recurring enemy we're gonna have to deal with over and over and over again. Huh. That one was easier to get than I thought. How the hell are we supposed to get to the room on the right with the energy tank? Perhaps from the room above or something? Well, the map certainly doesn't want to claim there's a path from above to the right side of that hallway. Still, nothing else, destroying the statuettes should give us a bit more, recovery. Probably more effort to grab those healing items than it was worth, but hey, we don't know how long until the next bit of trouble. Okay. Apparently you can't just dodge that fireball from the first statue head by going into ball form. Good to know. Probably would feel less annoying to me if I wasn't literally smashing against the exact same wall and somehow hoping for different results. Yeah, definitely feeling like I'm getting pretty ground down out here. And I really wish there was some way to tell when enemies we destroy drop healing items. At the very least, if I knew I wouldn't gain anything, I just find ways to avoid these bastards altogether instead of dealing with absolutely every single one of the hostiles in our given room. You've gotta be kidding me. Bombing all that ground and not even a hint of how we could get to that missile upgrade at the very least. I'm not even sure why I'm bothering to climb like this, especially when we've got the spider pole, which would make heading upwards in a room like this far less troublesome, if kinda slow. Getting the distinct feeling I might be trying to fall back to a save point just because it's been a while since our last save. Doesn't hurt that it's a good way to heal when we're dealing with regular enemies who are more durable and move in unconventional ways. Okay. This room looks like it's supposed to be something important. And apparently we're not allowed to get through from this side. Of bloody course. Okay! Now that's a new one. Dear God, we're essentially playing roulette to move on from here. Now I can't help thinking if a Pokemon gym that might use a mechanic like that to slow you down. Actually planning on doing the first 2 Pokemon generations once we're done with the 2D Metroid games. Then it's on to the 3D Metroid games. That should give me enough time to finally record Metroid Prime 3 at the very least. Finally some progress. Now for the other roulette table. One I clearly had a lot more luck with. Okay then, what's the upgrade this time? Well, that's certainly appreciated considering what we've been dealing with down here. Though we'll see just how powerful a beam that faces through walls is going to be, and for how long. I can't help thinking that the ice beam probably would be a better upgrade considering we're here to hunt down Metroids, a creature that is weak to ice. Certainly no gambling when we had to go the other way. Well, at least our new beam is helping us against one of the hoppers in this hallway. Looks like there's a path to the right in this shaft. Definitely hope it's got a save point. And once again, I'm wondering why I'm jumping around like this instead of using the spider ball, when this is the kind of situation the damn thing was made for. Well, at least I managed to get in here eventually. Okay. Not sure what's with the constantly moving platforms in here. Hell, I didn't think Metroid had that kind of obstacle. Well, that should help us with that major barrier we ran into earlier on. Here's hoping we can take care of the next 3 Metroids in a hurry because that barrier no longer exists. And here's hoping if we get ourselves killed that we won't have to go through absolutely all of that over again. Fresh energy tanks certainly should help us keep from getting hit by the worst case scenario at the very least. And look at that, an easy way to tell that we just need a bomb to reach that next upgrade. Nice to know that we're on the move again. Definitely looking forward to finding out just what percentage of the items we're managing to pick up compared to the percentage of items I picked up in Zero Mission. At the very least, I'm definitely a good deal more confident in how I move around, and seem more determined to grab the various upgrades we happen to notice. Okay, guess the fireballs from the statue are a genuine issue with this little jumping puzzle. Still, didn't take us long to get the hell out of there. Again, probably not the fastest way to get through there, but so long as we got through, there's not too much of an issue. Okay, this is about as far as I remember from the last time we checked the map. So we've got a save point between here and the next bit of new ground on the left side. That's probably a good place to hit. I wouldn't say it's amazing to see, but it's still fun to see Samus get launched upwards by jets of water like that. And it somehow makes more sense to me than the random cannons we came across in the previous game. And it certainly doesn't hurt that the water cannons look impossible to hide in ridiculous places, like those cannons in Zero Mission. And that's one less worry as we move on to the next batch of Metroids. Sure, it's still just as possible we'll die to whatever might be hiding for us near the Metroids hiding on the left, but knowing that I won't have to repeat several minutes worth of gaining upgrades and exploration is quite a weight off my shoulders. Why is it that I look at myself landing on top of an enemy like that with fondness instead of annoyance like I should by now? Okay, no harm in saving again after that small bit of progress. not sure why I was expecting to be able to break through some section of the wall or ceiling there. Huh. Seems the lighting is a little different in this room than usual. The top area seems darker than the bottom, though I can't tell why they made that lighting decision here. Looks like the vines seem to be some kind of light source. Actually, a nice touch. Generally, I tend to imagine that the lighting in a given area is generally due to whatever settings Samus has for her visor. Maybe your visor got a little fucked up, either due to the Events of Zero mission, or something in one of the various missions between the two 2D games. I know, probably an iffy idea to try imagining what's going on with the timeline of the series, when I'm purposely skipping over a section of it for now. Granted, Metroid Prime and its immediate two sequels weren't even a concept on anyone's brain when they first thought up a Metroid 2. And there's several reasons why I'm LPing all the 2D games that I know of, before even considering touching the 3D ones in this series. But for now, let's just acknowledge those events happened, but they don't really matter at the moment and aren't in the continuity of this play series just yet. I know, not the cleanest way to deal with a long-running series with some intervals. It was the cleanest option I could think of at the time. Okay, so we've got an upgrade near the entrance of this chamber that I can't seem to find no matter where I shoot. And sections of ground that really want to give way in a hurry. Pipes with no enemies coming out of them. Definitely feels like something important is about to happen. Apparently that something is a combination of me just letting myself get eaten by the local flora, and another Metroid in the same room we've been getting tired of dealing with popping up. Sorry, started hyping myself up for the next form of Metroid, and disappointed myself when it turned out no, they weren't hinting at the next major form being in this particular chamber. Still, credit where it's due. This room certainly gave that little guy as much of an advantage as he was going to get. Just one Metroid left in this section, then we get to move on to the next one. While we're not going to be breaking any speed records, we're certainly moving at a pretty nice pace. Right, wasn't expecting to find anything on the ceiling in here, but it was worth checking, even if I stupidly dropped into the vines again. Wait, what? Okay, so I read the hint right, just misinterpreted the timing. This one is definitely more dangerous looking, and certainly looks more interesting as well. Poor thing just has one major disadvantage though. With the rather limited AI the Metroids have in this game, all it can do is keep floating at us in a way that lets us just pound on it. So, where we were probably meant to be running around trying to avoid its attacks, all I can think to do is find a place to wait and trade blows with it. Not the most elegant way to deal with an enemy, but hey, if it works, it works. Now, let's deal with the last of the foes in this area and then move on. can't help feeling it's a bit of a shame that the ominous music in the background doesn't add up to us dealing with something that feels like a major challenge. Though it's hard to blame the people who made the original game. They were working to make something meant for the Game Boy and had a limited amount of space to work with. And I'm certainly not gonna blame the fans who worked on this particular remake, since making an all-new AI for a unique enemy like that would be a very difficult endeavor indeed. At best, I can say I'm really looking forward to the 3DS remake we'll be doing after this game, to see just how much more impressive the fights end up feeling. Right, just tearing myself apart as I drive myself crazy trying to find an upgrade that probably isn't worth anywhere near this much trouble. Okay, on second thought, another energy tank is very much worth all the trouble it took to find it. Definitely like being proven wrong like that. Once again, it looks like we're gonna be a bit of an annoying distance to go to the area where the lava dropped from. A little hard to complain about that when this game is so much more linear than Zero Mission, and what we'll end up running into in Super Metroid. This feels about as good a stopping point as any.